Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry about that delay. Good morning from where I'm from, and good morning to you. This is Horror in the High Desert. I'm excited about watching this because of the trailer. It's different. This is like a documentary style. It's not real. Let me just say this right now. Disclaimer, this story is fictional. This is a mockumentary, not a documentary, okay? This did not happen in real life. It's a mockumentary. But that is also why we're watching it. Because it's a found footage movie, but it's something different. If you are a hardcore horror fan, you know about it. But if not, I'm pretty sure it's not on your radar. This is an independent film, and it is free on most streaming apps. So for that, I did drop a link already. If you go to the description box right now on a separate device, You can link directly to the full-length movie and watch along today, because I can't show it to you all live, but we can watch it together. It's not that long. It's only an hour and 20 minutes from beginning to end. I got about 5 minutes into the movie and decided to go ahead and watch it with you guys, because I feel like it's gonna get very interesting, and I just want to watch it with y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and press play. It reminded you of Blair Witch Project? Ooh. Well, I hope it's better than Blair Witch Project, okay? Because, I'm not gonna debate it. It is how I feel. I'm sorry. I just feel like that movie sucked. Anyway, press and play. At the 6-minute, 53-minute mark. 6-minute, 53-minute mark.
Gary had found his dream job. Being such an avid outdoorsman, he started to work for a startup company called Map Nevada. Now, what they do is they map out really remote locations
Blair Witch Project?
for hunters.
It was slow.
They track wildlife, weather, terrain, and Gary was in heaven doing this. He loved to be by himself out in the wilderness. He loved hiking and being adventurous. Any training he was drawn to. He loved trains.
Aww. Where you at, Gary?
Another little YouTube video at one of my favorite places. If I had more time, I would become one of the volunteers. But this is the Nevada Northern Railway Museum here in Ely. And it's kind of an old little copper mine, just preserved and left. They do some cool stuff though, like you can sleep in this old caboose from Kennecott, the big copper mine in the area. Right outside my home in Ruth. It's kind of a neat little railroad museum. They just kind of let you walk around. And you know how much I love trains on top of hiking. Gotta do something in the winter time when you can't be outside as much. So I was really excited to take on this story, saying that it was my first story. And it also took place in this tiny little town called Ruth. And so I grabbed a phone book and I just started calling.
Nevada.
And I wanted to talk to anybody and everybody that would talk to me.
Never heard of it.
I first knew something was off when he asked me to watch his dog Tuca before he went out on one of his trips. And he never leaves Tuca. He always takes the dog with him, so I thought that was kind of weird. And he was acting super stressed out, even keeping himself even more. When he didn't come back after 2 days, I thought that was really strange. I had a flight to catch, so I just called Beverly to get the dog.
After I got off the phone with Simon, I tried Gary, and there was no answer. So I hurried and left, and I went to Ruth from Panaca, and it's only a couple hours away, so when I got there, Simon and Tuca were waiting on the front steps. Simon really needed to get to the airport in Las Vegas, so I asked him where Gary had gone to. And Simon didn't know. His roommate didn't even know. He just knew that he was on an expedition. To me, that wasn't right. So I tried Gary a couple of more times, and all it did was go to voicemail, and something was definitely wrong.
How many hiking trails could be in a small town of New Ruth?
So I got Beverly's phone number, and this is the only time that I ever talked to her. And she was pretty angry with me once I told her that I was a reporter. And she did not want to have anything to do with me or our show, which I thought was really unfortunate because, you know, the news stations, they had stopped reporting on this, and we were the only ones doing anything. And I thought, this is a way to help find your brother. I don't understand why you don't want to give me the time or day, but she didn't, and she quickly hung up. And that was the only time that I spoke to Beverly.
Gary
Wow.
became so obsessed with survivalism. He would watch the Discovery Channel. He would watch YouTube. He would study and find the most remote places, no cell service, no provisions of any kind other than what he took. And it used to scare the heavens out of me. I mean, I was petrified for him, and I would worry so much. But after a while, it was Gary.
So guys,
Okay.
here hiking around, and this is one of the cool secrets I have in the wilds in Nevada is this cemetery from the late 1800s, old mining camp, but I won't disclose the name for safety reasons. Don't want anyone getting lost out here, but you can see all these old
And
graves,
what about yourself?
woodstones unmarked, graves with no names now. Give you an idea where I had to hike from is that mountain way over there is my truck's on the other side of it. So hiked over that mountain and I'm way out this way now, hiking around.
I wouldn't say what Gary was doing was hiking. These were multiple day, survival excursions.
What?
In the
So he
beginning,
will
what gave me
purposely
hope
go
was the
out
fact
there
that
unequipped
when Gary was much younger,
to see if he could survive?
much younger, like second grade,
Because that's
we all went
insane.
camping, and Gary disappeared from the campsite. And we searched for him, and we were all so worried. Mom and Dad
So he
were
a
just
wanderer.
terrified. I was terrified. We didn't want to leave the mountain to go and get cell service or anything. We just went looking for him, and we looked for him all night. And the next morning, we came up to a sheep herder's camp, thinking, we're going to tell him, look, keep an eye out for this second grader that was missing. And we walk up, and there is my little brother, Gary, playing with the animals. He'd known that if he got to the sheep herder's camp, he would be okay, that Mom and Dad would come and look for him. And he was so resilient. It was in him, it's second nature.
So after speaking to a bunch of people in Ruth, I started to learn a little bit more about
That should have been a lesson
Beverly's
learned.
relationship with Gary in the
Not
past.
celebrated.
So she had a lot of anger towards Gary. She really blamed him for their parents' death.
What?
And when their parents did pass away, she was stuck still raising Gary, and so she held quite a lot of resentment against him.
Wow.
Well, I was mad at Gary when Mom and Dad died. They were out on a fishing trip, and Mom and Dad liked to do some night fishing.
Okay.
And so they went out, and they'd hung the lantern where they could see it so they could get back to shore safely, back to camp without hitting any rocks. Well, Gary decided that he was going to go hunting frogs and everything, and he went exploring. And while he's out there, he hung the lantern up so that he could see what he was doing. Meanwhile, Mom and Dad decided that they were going to come back in and call it a night. So they headed for the lantern, not knowing that Gary had moved it
Oh,
while
wow.
he was exploring. And so they followed the light. And it was the wrong spot. They didn't make it back because they hit the rocks, and had Gary not hung the lantern up where he was at and left it where it needed to be,
Are you
there
kidding
wouldn't have been any
me?
problems.
I just felt super
Okay, and
bad.
if you older than Gary Beverly, my love, why didn't you take action?
Inside Gary's room.
You know what? You're not
really
mad at Gary.
my
You're mad at
brother,
yourself.
Gary.
Because you could have stopped Gary. I'm just saying. That could have been prevented.
I kept hearing people refer to Gary as a hiker. And in my opinion, I don't really think that's correct, because to me, Gary's more of a survivalist. You know, he would go out into the wilderness for
why are we really trying to get this man this title? Hiker, survivalist, outdoorsman.
Wilderness, you know, just to survive.
What's the difference, and who cares?
Off of the land, and, you know, filter his own water. So to hear him just be like,
all that survival didn't keep him from disappearing.
When Gary and I first started living together, I actually went out with him on one of these things. And I just kept telling myself the entire time, never again. Gary wouldn't let us bring enough food or water, and it was the most miserable experience.
Thanks for that
one thing I
review. Let me know that.
Was we kept on finding these.
I don't even know what that movie is, but if it's got Nicolas Cage in it, I'll trust that it's good. I'm always a fan of his work.
Search and rescue, because, you know, Gary didn't tell anybody where he was going on his excursion, you know, and he would go really deep into the wilderness, and he'd be gone for a week or so. So no one had any idea where to even start looking. And so police decided the best way, or the only thing they could think of, was to maybe check his cell phone and his cell phone pings and watch tower. And it looked to be as he had turned his cell phone off shortly after leaving his home.
When Beverly showed up to get the dog, I regret that now.
That's not a survival move, to turn your cell phone off.
I was so put off when I got to town, and he was so antsy to get out of there. And, you know, being my brother's roommate, not even asking where he was going to be, you know, if there was going to, you know, any issue that might set up a red flag if he didn't come home. You know, he had his dog and everything, and he knew he needed to be out of town. I didn't feel right about it. It just didn't feel right. And, you know, a week or so before that, Gary had confided in me that him and Simon weren't getting along very well, and so...
Oh, she think the roommate got something to do with it?
And so...
Well, now, Beverly...
It just didn't feel right, so I let the cops know. You know, I just don't...
That is the common sense.
To not be...
Well, I'm not going to say common sense. That would be the first common suspect, right? Is the person you live with, if you live with someone.
Somebody missing that's supposed to be your friend, close to you? No.
We never talked about that. He never told me where he went hiking, ever. He never mentioned it. And even if he did talk about it, I'm pretty sure he probably didn't talk. So...
Oh, why? That just don't make no sense to me.
She needs someone to point the finger at, and she was super upset, understandably. But after some time, you know, it just kind of got old. So I called her and I, you know, told her that there's no way I would have known, and just, by the way, you're his sister, so why didn't you know?
When I first reported...
No shade. No shade. Now see.
Wonderful. They really on top.
But they didn't get along either. Like, I ain't gonna say they didn't get along, but from the way they paint the picture, him and his sister were not close.
Everything. You know, we live in a small town. People don't go missing all the time. And so this was
okay.
a big deal. And they really took it seriously. They had it everywhere.
Is it a small town?
I was embarrassed that I didn't know exactly where he was at.
Because they don't know what's going on in their backyard, in their desert.
I should have known.
Or do they?
I should have known.
Well, I could say this, between the videos and pictures of Gary, it is some nice scenery. This looks like real Nevada, you know? And it's beautiful.
I heard he was missing.
I wouldn't go there. Because I'm not an outside lady like this. I'm a city girl. A country city girl. Like, I like outdoors, but I want to be around people. But this is pretty. But I do want to go to Yellowstone.
That he didn't know was going to make him so sick.
I haven't been as an adult. As a child, yes. And I couldn't even really remember.
I was reportedly missing, and I hadn't slept more than 10 to 15 minutes at a time. I had people calling and were so concerned and wanted to know where to start looking for him. But not knowing where he was at, where would I have them look?
Well,
and then the phone call came.
In the vicinity of New Ruth, we could start there. It's always a starting point. Hell, the man said, the roommate said he went on one trip with him. They could have went in that direction. Is that Gary's truck? And why couldn't they ping his cell phone even though it was off?
And I've had such a sinking feeling, such a sick to my stomach feeling that this was now very real.
Well, if you still haven't heard from him after 1 week,
and let me know that they found his truck. They came and picked me up and took me to it. It was about 55 miles out of town, and we got there and seeing his truck, I was so hopeful. You know,
that's so nice how they. That's nice how they setting this movie up.
Maybe broken ankle, stuck in a ravine, can't get himself out. But I had hope, you know.
Well, that's your starting point right there. If you found the truck, at least you can start looking for a body. You know, within a certain radius.
While I was sitting there watching him process Gary's truck, I was looking around.
Were you?
This wasn't Gary. He loved to explore vast forests, rocky hills, beauty, not just a rolling hill of dirt. Something wasn't right.
Well, that's for sure. Okay, so who has this Bendejo? Hello? William Bill Salerno.
By Beverly shortly after Gary's truck was found. The height.
Oh, he a PI.
As you can see.
Okay.
It's very beautiful. It's very majestic. Has mountains, valleys,
as you can
plains, forests. It has it all. But it's also quite dangerous and very unforgiving.
So after Gary's truck was found,
that's any terrain.
A search.
Honey, you could walk out into the woods in your backyard and get lost and end up dying. I'm just saying, God forbid.
Missing in the hottest part of
but
the
that's
summer.
just how, you know.
And what we see most of the time in disappearance
nature
like
can
this
swallow you up.
is people suffering from heat stroke, dehydration, sometimes even injury.
People started showing up, and then more people started showing up, and next thing I know, it's a whole whirlwind.
They couldn't afford an aerial search? Only a foot search?
That Gary didn't know. There were people bringing drones, all kinds
drones?
of search and rescue. It was the most
what about helicopters?
experience to know that these strangers.
I know they got aerial. I know they got helicopters for at least the police or the fire station in Nevada. Did he plan on camping out?
So once
maybe he have you can find his tent that's pitched, you know, somewhere.
Let's just say she was very vocal about how the truck seemed to be parked in a suspicious location. Like, she was just convinced that her brother had not parked it there. Her brother wouldn't park it there.
What?
And she would not stop talking about it. So the cops eventually looked into this.
The clock was ticking. They very much needed to find Gary as soon as possible.
Oh, honey, at this point,
on the other hand, was very much in their way.
I mean, I'm surprised they went this far to look for him after they confirmed him missing. Because most adults, honey, they give you 2 days and that's it.
In the air in a helicopter and fly
After
around
2 days, they ain't looking for you no more.
Ground and, see someone.
The local authorities are
there's
not.
abandoned mines, there's bushes and tree cover, and it's super difficult. So finding someone it's not easy as people think it is.
Oh my God, sheep! Hi, sheep! Look at all the sheep. Sheep are a lot nicer than people.
Well, we know he likes sheep. We know
Hey,
these.
little sheeps. Look at all you guys. Roaming the land,
Whole thing.
doing what you need to do.
Sir, you should have become a veterinarian. Maybe
Jeez,
your
they all ran
passion
away
is with
from me.
animals.
Can't even make friends with sheep.
The officers didn't want me to
Well, not wild ones.
participate in the search.
Honey, they wild. They don't know you.
They thought it was best that I stay home at Gary's place in case he tried to contact me, call, or show up.
I was very much familiar with the lead investigator.
I don't know about all
We worked
that.
together before, and we were definitely familiar with each other. I called him to kind of check up on things and see where the investigation was headed, and if they had any new information.
Okay.
He told me that they had made a discovery in the truck.
Really? What is it? Some blood? Some hair?
But since I was not formally hired by Beverly, I had to contact her first before they would discuss the matter with me.
I was hopeful that they had good news. But the officer asked me if Gary had any enemies or if I knew anybody.
No shade to Beverly, but honey, this dress is giving $12.99 off the Ross
I
rack,
asked the
honey.
officer why. Why would he ask that? And in confidence, they told me that they had evidence that Gary did not drive his truck out there.
What evidence would prove that he didn't drive his truck out there? Huh? Did they find somebody else's DNA in the truck?
So I waited a couple of hours and went over to Gary's house where Beverly was staying, and she was absolutely hysterical. She told me that the police had informed her that in Gary's truck they had discovered prints on top of Gary's all over, on top of the steering wheel, the dashboard, the gear, and what was most surprising or alarming was that they discovered footprints, bare footprints, and they were scarred and unidentifiable.
What?
Which even added more to the mystery.
So somebody else drove the truck.
There was. They said he said that it was barefoot.
Well, no matter if they had on shoes or if they was barefoot, they an adult human being who know how to drive.
Barefoot. And
Make that make
it just doesn't
sense.
sit well with me because it's like, what happened? Why was this person not wearing
They looking
shoes?
for a person for sure.
What was going on? Like, it's just odd, and it's very, I don't know, it's just, it made my skin crawl.
Oh, look at the little baby deer. That's kind of cool to see. You don't see that too often.
In the South, you do. You see deer all the time. Honey, you can just be driving down the highway and see a deer. I thought he did this all the time. He should have been seeing deer. Okay. That's cute. He builds miniature trains. Should have stayed home and built a miniature train that day.
Sleeping and everything, and my mind was just reeling. I had a lot of things going through my head, different scenarios. Maybe he picked up a friend.
That's understandable.
Maybe somebody stole his truck while he was out hiking. Or maybe he picked up a hitchhiker and...
Oh, girl, I hope not.
The hitchhiker had done something to him.
We ain't gonna think that. No.
I don't know, at this point, so many things were just going through my head. Just over and over again.
I don't think Gary was that friendly.
To get any sleep.
Or that open to people to pick up a hitchhiker. It just don't look like that's in his profile to me.
So Beverly still wanted me to vet out Simon because she still...
Oh, I forgot about the roommate. Yes.
And I did too. I looked into him again, and lo and behold, he was ruled out as a suspect. But through that process, I actually learned that Gary had been talking to someone that he met on a Facebook Messenger group.
Oh, Lord, not Facebook.
Corresponding with each other through a local sellers group. And I guess they had been commenting on each other's posts, and one thing led to another, and they became more than friends. When I confronted this person, he was very much terrified. Didn't want to talk to me, didn't want to have anything to do with me or the investigation. And I told him, if you don't talk to me, you're going to have to talk to the cops, and they're going to
all right, Gary. Well, at least Gary know how to get him some.
Being outed in this community, because it's such a small town. Not a lot of gay people. And so he did talk to me.
Well, I mean, whether he was out or not, it ain't nobody's business. I'm just happy at least Gary had a lover.
That Gary had disappeared. He didn't know what happened to him. I guess I did believe him. He really didn't want to discuss it, but ultimately when I did check out his alibi, he was cleared as a suspect.
Yeah, I don't think he would do nothing to Gary if he was already trying to keep his, situation under the, rug.
I've seen a lot out here, mining camps, mines, abandoned towns, buildings, remnants of the past. But the coolest and my favorite personally is all the Native American remnants. I love finding arrowheads and seeing petroglyphs on mountainsides, just old writing from the native people who lived here long before any settlers moved in. To me, that's the coolest stuff to see. But it's getting dark now, the sun's setting. I think I'm going to call it a night and get settled in my camp.
Okay. Great.
They were still processing the crime scene and everything, and they came across an envelope.
This reminds me of the YouTubers that I watch, the content creators that I watch that actually go out. They're mostly Canadians that I watch, where they like to go out into the mountains and camp overnight, and they be by themselves. And I always in the back of my mind be thinking, I sure hope they let someone know where they go before they go out there, because that is dangerous.
I walked to the police officers knocking on my door, and they were informing me that they called off the search. And why they're explaining things to me. I'm seeing them talk, and I'm I'm not comprehending.
Well, they don't have nothing. All they can do is just presume that he's dead. And close the case.
I'm seeing their faces and I'm seeing their lips move, and then they're looking at me like I'm crazy. And next thing I know, I'm on a stretcher.
Oh, she passed out?
And taken to the ER where they had to give me hydration and IV with fluids and medicine that helped me sleep. And for the first time since all of this started, I got 10 hours of sleep.
This was the largest search and rescue that Nevada had ever seen. And
what?
They finally called
Was
it
it?
Everyone was just so shocked. But, you can't search the entire state of Nevada. It's just too vast, it's too broad. And it had been so long that the chances of finding him and finding him alive were slim to none.
The investigation was dead in the water. We didn't have any leads. The fingerprints in the truck didn't match any database, so we didn't know what to do. But then
what?
Gary's followers started calling.
Gary's followers?
And this whole thing was turned on its head.
Were they real supporters or were they trolls?
So I'm at my desk and I'm going through the show notes. I'm getting ready to go on air, and my producer comes through my door and he's like, "You have a phone call. You have to take this phone call." And I get on the phone and it's one of our listeners.
He's
telling me that I have
because y'all know how the internet works.
He's going on and on about this crazy story about Gary, and he's telling me that he thinks he knows where he is. He thinks he knows what happened to him. And I have to go and look at this blog right now.
Okay.
My friend Monica calls me and tells me that it's all over the news that all these people are calling into the radio station, and she tells me that they're talking about Gary's blog and the fact that it needs to be read and that there's comments and everything. And so
why would she tell Beverly? Beverly looked
so I could read the blog and see what all this was.
Beverly looked like the type of person that'll call and try to report the blog and get it shut down, child. She
went right over there and really messed things up.
Hey guys, it's me again.
I'm not surprised. She looked like she'll mess up the investigation.
Just trying to copy Naked and Afraid. And as you can tell, I'm not naked or afraid out here. So I'm not trying to copy the show. And also my ex loved the show, so I'm sick of it. It's the reason why people are called exes.
So while I'm trying to navigate through everything on his blog, going through the operator stuff and everything, and I finally get in there and I realize he has 50,000 viewers.
All right, Gary, that's a good accomplishment. 50,000 subscribers. Way to go, Gary!
Blog, which was really shocking considering the fact that he had 50,000 followers. That really says something.
Honey, we still trying to get to 1,000. Oh, Gary.
Of course, I immediately jump on my computer and I go to his blog, and I'll never forget the title because I actually thought it was really clever. It was called "Don't Hike with Headphones."
Hey guys, up here at the top of the mountain, as you can see.
Of course, don't hike with headphones. That's great. You asking
one of the questions I
for
asked on the blog a lot was, what dangers are there out here? Are there any threatening animals like rattlesnakes and mountain lions? And yeah, there are rattlesnakes at the lower elevations. You might have noticed I don't hike with headphones or anything on, so I can listen for them.
And it's your basic,
honey, you need to be
survivalist
listening
type
for
blog,
everything.
how to build a fire, how to filter water.
The worst thing you can run across is something on two legs.
All the way to the latest
I'm
videos
trying to tell y'all.
posted.
I'm trying to navigate to find out where these notifications are coming from, because he is getting notification after notification. I mean, it's ding, 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 ding.
So I was driving when I found out Gary had a blog. I pulled over and looked for it on my phone. And the first thing that I noticed was that...
Well, I sure would like to know who took these pictures of Gary.
My biggest thing I've ever ran into was I got stung by a scorpion kicking over a rock once. Had to go to the hospital once I got back to my truck. That was a day hike with a swelling up hand.
I'm finally able to get to the notifications, and this notification pops up, and they're saying, I bet he found it.
Found what?
And that something bad happened, and I'm thinking, they're saying he found it, and something bad happened. Found what?
And then came Gary's now infamous video post.
Oh.
I've worked a lot of strange cases in my career, and Gary's by far was
only
the most
screenshot
unusual.
of Gary's
Just
inciting
the way that he
post.
described what he was looking at, what he saw, how terrified he was. It just
This is getting interesting.
really scares me.
I have been captivated by this story.
So I start watching.
But we're gonna talk
the
about this a
second to
little
last
in
video
just a
on
second.
Gary's blog, and he's at his home and he's sitting there and he's telling his viewers basically what he came across on his last expedition.
I saw his last 3 videos, and what I saw changed everything.
He's pretty worked up in this video. You can tell he's nervous, he's scared.
As soon as his video started, I could tell he was troubled by something. Something had him so unnerved. He was 3 days into his expedition, and he started to smell smoke and that. And he was out in the middle of nowhere, so he got curious and started to look around.
He comes across
Curiosity killed a
and
cat.
it's not, like a nice cabin. It's like a makeshift cabin.
That's what happened.
Kind of like a homeless.
You should have
type
minded
of
his
structure,
business.
He'll
still be alive. Minding your business will save your life. I'm trying to tell you.
And
no eye contact.
Gary's not someone to
no
be
walking.
scared of
Just keep going about your business.
But he said he was just like frozen in his tracks, and he just felt this like sixth sense of basically
danger,
impending doom.
Mm-hmm.
It was the look on his face.
He knew what he knew he was out there with somebody. It was something out there with him. Especially if you smell smoke, somebody burning something.
The longer he stood and looked at it, the more spooked that he got. The feeling of dread, the sixth sense that he needed to get out of there.
Like he wanted nothing to do with that place. And so
wait, if he made it out to tell the story,
he goes to sleep in his tent. I remember this because he talks about
what
how
happened.
He was so scared he slept with his shoes on all night. He didn't bring his firearms, so he was.
Oh man, I thought y'all said he was a survivalist.
And terrified.
Honey, that's rookie mistake. Rule number 1: always carry a weapon. Always.
Footprints.
These two things are now connected. We had something to go on.
What? So but did he set up camp next to where he smelled the smoke?
He felt like somebody was following him.
So this was a really sad story to me. To see Gary's followers turn on him, that blog was everything to him. He really admired them and their comments. It was something really special to him. And to see them go from loving him to bullying him, calling him a loser, a liar, and putting him down, it was really sad to see.
So you mean...
And the comments are like, everyone's kind of just like, well, go back. You know, take video. Show us this place. Is this place even exist? Is this even real? And he's getting like really hit by his followers. Basically, they're kind of bullying him.
They ain't his followers, them trolls. They troll this man to his death.
They go to his blog for a reason.
Oh, wow.
Like he's just, getting into ghost stories or
Gary.
something. And so I really feel like he fell into a bit of cyberbullying, and the fact that they were not going to be, his.
And y'all know that comment section. The comment section, Lord, them fingers on them individuals is reckless. So I could just imagine what they were saying.
It broke my heart to read the comments that said that he was nothing but a lonely loser, and that all he was doing was trying to get attention by making shit up, and that they didn't believe him.
Well, why didn't he just get an admin so they could delete all that?
But I knew
this is why you need an admin on your page, people. Somebody you trust that got your best interest, so that you don't go through all that.
Or I always heard him in his room, like giving survival tips and things.
Hey guys, just walking through the woods here.
What survival tip? The man went out in the damn woods with no gun.
But a lot of people asked what I would do if I got lost back here. So I had to spend several more days than I planned on. I guess the first thing I would do would be find a nice, nutritious cow patty, because they're so yummy. I'm just kidding. You don't want to eat cow shit. That would be bad. But there are ways you can scavenger for food out here.
Gary, where you and your roommate live, it was no woods outside. It ain't no Beverly, your sister. She didn't have no wood. Like I'm just saying, he had to go way out here. He couldn't go nowhere by
during all the
family or friend or someone that he was acquainted with. He had to go out in the middle of nowhere.
Beverly really beat herself up about deleting the video, and I felt bad for her. I didn't want to press it because I knew she felt terrible.
Do not go out your safety zone for content. Please don't.
It was a missed opportunity, definitely.
It's not worth it.
And a definite disappointment.
The last video of Gary on that blog is him.
I'm not gonna name them. It reminds me of a certain YouTuber on this channel. They do have 1 million subscribers. However, I still say this man is insane, because
Gary's
some of the stuff that he does, he puts his life
haunting.
on the line for content.
It is really the beginning.
He's not on TV. He's just on here.
Gary's last video that he posted to his blog said that he was going to go back out and record everything and prove to everyone that this was real, that this really existed. It's the last time that
I can't believe
anything or anybody heard
they
from
trolled this man to go back out there. And you would think his intuition, Gary's final blog post. you would think his experience and how he felt the first time would drive his gut to tell him don't go back no matter what.
A lot of you were coming up with some crazy theories on what was out there, what I saw in the woods. Some of you don't believe it. Some of you are asking for the location and want to find it yourself. I'm really against people going out in the backwoods in Nevada without experience. There's a lot of dangers out there, from old mines to just random people, and you can get lost easily.
Random people.
Looks a lot of the
That's
same,
your most dangerous enemy.
You
Random
get lost and turn around and
people.
be out there for days, and if you don't bring enough food,
cockroaches on 2 feet.
Danger.
Yes, them.
So I don't want to give out the location and just be the one that causes a whole bunch of people to go out in the backwoods in Nevada. I'll go out there, find
but Gary, you shouldn't have risked your life to teach that lesson.
I have to do some work first, but I plan on leaving.
Whole thing. Nobody told him about simulation. You know, you could go out and he could have went to a campsite and still did this content.
And
simulation, you know.
Another video once we finally get
Gary
out there,
was actually roughing it
I'll
out.
have something for you guys posted.
Wow, whole thing.
He goes, and that's it, and that's the last. That's the last video of Gary, and no one knows where.
Well, like the last video.
So the search is so vast, and Nevada's huge, and he could be anywhere.
Well, my thing is, it ain't no landsman, you know, or like an actual tracker who could look at his videos of where he went, or pictures of where he went and identify the location. It's not really that hard.
I had no
if someone
idea
leaves a foot trail.
He had this whole other life, this blog, all these followers and everything.
Right.
And on that, I would have never.
You mean tell me something like this with this red shed and an old mine in the back? If someone saw that, they would know where that's at in Nevada.
Whose cabin?
It's a state parks ranger somewhere that can help find Gary. I'm sorry.
Crazy. What type of person lives in the middle of nowhere? And if you're about to go find that person, I don't know.
The Wrong Turn family.
I mean, if they're out there that far, they're out there that far for a reason.
I say it all the time. I don't trust people who live out in the middle of nowhere. I've said that anyway.
And everything, everybody just
but to live in the desert like this, oh honey, that's the hill have eyes.
Were just everywhere, from witches to aliens, Area 51, you name it.
People started coming out of the woodwork. And
we're not gonna go there.
As to who the cabin belonged to, what was in the cabin.
I say Freaky Mountain people
Gary
took him.
A witch. And
it wasn't a witch. No, witches be minding their business. I mean, it ain't nothing they could have got out of Gary.
Other people thought,
but baby, a mountain, hills have eyes.
People thought
shoot, that's meat for at least 6 months for them.
Aliens.
So it sounds like cannibalism to me.
I could go on and on about the many theories that people thought.
The only reasonable explanation I could come up with was maybe Gary.
And I don't believe it was witch because we talked about the moon and all that. So no, these were some mountain freaks.
Killed them for it. It has happened before, but
hills have eyes took them.
I was wrong.
Y'all know it.
I just couldn't shake.
Well, Beverly don't know, child. Beverly is so oblivious.
Sickening feeling. Before I knew it, the cops showed up, and they had known all about his blog, and I was actually on the computer when they got there, and they gathered everything up, seized everything, including his hard drives.
Guys, low model train video here. I just got back from a flea market.
Okay.
And look what I picked up today. Got a nice little HO diesel locomotive.
Okay, Gary, well, look
for
at
one of my
you.
favorite railroads.
Check you out,
California
Gary.
Western, out of Northern California. Set that down. Then I got this brand new steam engine for the Santa Fe.
Oh, that's a nice shot. That's nice.
My private investigator called and said that the detectives on the case wanted to meet with me. So I ended up going down to the precinct, and they kept asking me, is there anything you need? Have you eaten today? Or, just beating around the bush. And I finally asked him, what is going on?
We got about 15 minutes left in this movie. Something about to pop
We are
off.
back with a break in the case of missing hiker Gary Hinch was made yesterday when his backpack was discovered by a couple camping in White Pine County. When they woke up in the morning, they found the backpack had been intentionally placed in their campsite. What they found inside has sent a shockwave through the state of Nevada. Hinch's truck was found parked in Eureka earlier this month, but police now say they have evidence that it was parked there to throw off investigators searching for him.
They woke up to find Gary's backpack.
That couple that was hiking,
that they had there,
y'all lucky. Cause whatever got Gary was with, following them too. What? That's creepy.
as well as a severed hand.
What?
Gary's hand.
Child, not his hand still holding the camera. That's wild. That's wild. That is crazy.
The way that his hand was severed
Oh.
was incredibly violent. The way that it was chopped off was just gruesome.
It was deliberately placed there because someone wanted it to be found.
The forensics showed
Not only that,
that
at some point they was thinking about getting a couple. Y'all got a serial killer on y'all hands.
And it was still clutching a video
I
camera.
guarantee you that.
And what's even more crazy was the hand wasn't like torn off from a body. It was a clean cut.
I was gutted.
That means you're dealing with a human. This is not an alien.
Once a camera was discovered, everybody
This is
wanted
not
to
a
know,
witch.
is there a tape?
A human.
And does the tape
The
work?
real
What's
survivalist.
on?
Okay, whoever it is. I guarantee you they know how to fillet,
Anxious for the crime
dice,
lab to process the evidence.
chop up all that
Sure
real
enough,
good.
when
They're a
they did
hunter,
it,
obviously,
the
whoever
memory
it
chip
is.
was
They're a
still
good
in the
hunter.
camera.
Ooh, that go. Ooh, what's on it? Did it catch the person's face who killed him? Ooh, this is getting good. Come on.
It was
Come
truly
on.
terrifying to watch, and I can't even imagine the true horror that he faced out there.
Bill calls me, and the forensic investigators have video of Gary's spinal moments, and so they take us into a room.
The team thought it would be best.
They
if
did a
I
good
sat down
job
with
on
Beverly and
this
watched the
damn
videos
movie.
with her,
I just had to
because
tell
I
myself
had
this is not real.
a relationship with her.
I still got sucked into it.
So they thought it would probably be best if maybe
because they really do present this very well, like it's a real story.
The first video, and there was Gary shining his light around, saying hello, and the innocence in his voice. I couldn't do it. I had to stop. And then Bill finished watching.
Partial footage from Gary's last excursion was released to Beverly and the general public in hopes of turning up leads.
The clips begin like all the other clips. Gary's even smiling, but he has no idea what's about to happen.
Hey guys, little video update.
He should know what's about to happen. He was so freaked out the first time.
I gotta make this quick. Got a whole nother ridge line to climb before I get to.
And he got a good memory to go straight back to the location.
Halfway there, a day and a half in. We'll see what we find. Climbed over one mountain range already. Got one more to go. And better make it quick because that storm's
Gary, you was around here carrying a tripod and a camera? You gotta have a tripod. We looking at a full body shot.
Distinctly smelling the smoke, like I smelled last time. There's no fires around. There shouldn't be anyone out here. But it's very faint, but very distinct smell of smoke. Kind of getting creeped out, but not as much as I was last time yet. We'll see what happens.
Did you bring a weapon?
Video update soon.
Please, Gary, tell me you about something. I don't even care if it's a slingshot. Did you bring a weapon? In attempt to stay undetected, Gary ventures out in total darkness, relying on infrared camcorder, which emits a light that is not visible to the human eye. Okay. Basically, night vision. Got it. Why would he do it in the middle of the... So he just standing in the middle of the woods, just looking around with night vision glass, with night vision camcorder. So he was like this right now. In the middle of the woods, pitch black dark. You can't see your hand in front of your face. That's wild. If you're familiar with Paranormal Activity and how they used to go outside and when they lose power or whatever and they turn it to the infrared, that's what we got going on right now. It's nighttime and he recording. Brother, I think it was something just standing in front of you. Somebody. He didn't see that person? He already done. They right there with him. Alright, guys.
There's a marker left.
Oh, he left a marker?
As I came back in the daytime. That way I can tell where I was in the dark.
This is not smart, Gary. Oh, you hear it, huh? You heard that person? Because they was right there a few seconds ago.
the sign of mother.
Okay. Oh, run, Gary. Fuck it. Just run, boo. Damn it. Gary, honey, they're having freaky square dance. Please exit. Back away slowly. I'm just imagining that anything could be staring back at him right now. He don't even see it. Yo, I'm telling you, Gary, is somebody out there with you. I seen them earlier. Gary, move. Please. That's insane, Gary. What is it? Okay, he done walked some more. Why you talking so loud, Gary? Be quiet. Girl, now he done. So, why would you flash a real flashlight? Now they know you're there. You can see the chimney. Yeah, we see it.
Everything else, I just got the previous video.
We got it. You got the money shot. He should have took off from there. Ooh, honey. Ooh. And nobody found this cabin during their search? Gary, you lingering way too long, bro. I see why you met your demise. You was supposed to been out of there. Why didn't he ask somebody to go with him? Should have asked somebody from that comment section to go with you. Creepy music started back. There's somebody right there. They're looking right at you, Gary. You don't see it? You don't see that one eyeball? I knew it was the hills have eyes. I knew it. They ate Gary. Gary became Sunday night dinner. Damn it. I know when he lifts this camera back up from his hand, we gonna see the person, whatever it is watching him, gonna be right there, ain't it? Oh, okay, no. Gary, the person moved. They not there no more. Oh, no. I hope that's Gary footsteps. Oh shit! Holy shit! Oh my God. Oh my God. Gary, do you got a gun? Cause you might want to start busting, bro. Do we got a mask on? Is that a mask that is wearing on his face? Rest in peace to Gary Hinch. What the? Did he shoot him? Baby, you supposed to run and bust, run, bow, bow, run some more, bow, bow. Oh! Did he get it? Don't waste your bullets. Don't waste your bullets. Get your back up against a tree. Back up against a tree. Secure your back. Secure your back. Come on. I thought he was a survivalist. Gary, you wasting your fire. Oh, man. Who trained him? Did he just watch? Oh, that's right. I forgot. He just watched videos. Damn it. Oh, he got cut. Oh. My boy. When you go out in the woods, handguns do you nothing. You need just some double barrel power. Bow, bow. You need something that's gonna blow a hole through somebody. What is it? You mean to tell me he did not flee the scene? Oh, he hiding from that person. He hiding. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. The hills have eyes. I knew it. Gary, you should have climbed a tree. This is good. They dragging it out, but it's good. Oh, God. Oh, Gary. He's right there in the bush. He's right there in the bush. 1 o'clock. Yeah, 1 o'clock. Oh, shit. Is it 2 of them? Damn. If he would have just climbed the tree, I think he would have survived till morning. He could have got out. Because he just standing there. Some gonna jump out. Oh my God. Look, it's his one eye. The hills have eyes. I knew it. They got Gary.
From what you do see from the
Baby,
person
he was
in the
Sunday
video,
night dinner and Monday
you
night
can tell that they
leftovers.
have a lot
That's
of
a damn
physical
shame.
disabilities. And
all because the
it's probably one of
comment
the main
section
reasons why
wanted to be
they
on
chose
10.
to live where they lived. You know, they felt shunned by society.
When we found out what actually happened, it was like this weight had been taken off of Beverly and I's relationship. And now we're actually really close, and I actually consider her kind of a big sister.
Oh, okay. Well, did they ever find the cabin? Beverly became too emotional to finish her interview. She would like to thank everyone who helped search for Gary. Aww.
Just hiking along, almost to the top.
They never gonna find him, baby.
Over that mountainside.
He got AIDS.
Still some thunder in the distance. Amazing how far you can hike and only seeing a couple of deer. How much wildlife that I've seen. I'm sure they see me. Stay hidden. Just a lot of sagebrush and trees and peaceful desert.
I don't know about peaceful, baby.
The great thing about Nevada. Wide open spaces.
Everybody immediately wants to go and search for the one thing that they've been told not to go search for. And so now there's this whole band of influencers who are out there wanting to find this person and post about it and blog about it.
They need to find that freaking cabin.
And
they can't just pack it up like a trailer and move it. That cabin is somewhere out there. Despite stern warnings from law enforcement, 17 social media accounts and channels were actively searching for the structure and person seen in Gary's videos during the course of this production. Did they find it? One Pacific group claimed to be on track to locating the structure and revealing the man seen in the video. They vowed to produce their findings by 2022. All right. Oh, he disappeared in 2017. Rest in peace, Gary. Written and directed by Dutch Marich. Dutch, you did that. You did that. That was a great production. An hour and 20 minutes from beginning to end. Short, straight to the point, and I love the concept of making it a mockumentary. I think that is just so... I think that is something people got away with the found footage crap, you know. But in this case, it sells very well, you know. And this is about to become a trilogy. So I did learn that they do have a sequel to this. If you would like to go ahead and watch it, because we are going to watch that next week for movie night, that's what's scheduled. Y'all know if something pops out before, it might change. But for now, we're supposed to be watching part 2 of Horror in the High Desert. And I saw when I was setting up the live today that they are working on a part 3, y'all. So this is becoming a trilogy as we speak. I am super stoked now. I see why my friend was like, yo, you gotta watch this movie. I see why. Let me tell you how long my friend been trying to get me to watch this movie. He was telling me about this movie when I was reacting to Paranormal Activity last year. And he was like, listen, you really need to watch that because it's on a whole nother level. And this is, okay? Please do not go into this movie comparing this to Paranormal Activity or comparing this to any other previous found footage films we watch, like Unfriended. This is strictly like going and watching a unsolved mystery. This is what they did a good job. It reminds me of an episode of Unsolved Mystery. And speaking of that, okay, so that ends our reaction, by the way. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Okay, if Clubhouse 81 had to rate this movie from a 1 to 10, y'all, I give this movie a 9. Off the rip. And the only reason why I don't get a perfect 10 is because it's a cliffhanger. You know what I mean? But yeah, a 9 out of 10. I recommend you go watch it. We're gonna look up to what other people thought of this movie, but before I get into that, I do need to make a quick announcement. So, y'all, Monday is July 22nd. That is our channel's anniversary of when we began doing reactions and reviews on the channel. The very first movie we actually reacted to was Collateral with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, and it did very well, and it's still doing well till this day. It's still getting views, and I appreciate all of the clicks and the watch time on that video. That movie was great, by the way. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to make it up. Like, I'm not sure we'll actually be able to get the video up by Monday on the actual anniversary date, but we are working on a reaction to celebrate our anniversary, and we are so up in the air, y'all. We might just have to pull a name out the hat, because I'm gonna tell you the picks is between Lights Out, Mission Impossible, and it was something else, and I can't even think right now. We may be leaning more towards Mission Impossible, but I'm not for sure yet. But just know this is the real announcement. As of Monday, if you haven't already noticed, as of Monday, you're going to have a new banner on the channel, which is already up. We have a new thumbnail picture, which is already up, and the channel's name will be hyphenated first thing Monday. So at midnight Monday, our channel name will change. It will be CH81 Cinematics. So Clubhouse 81 is here to stay. We're just hyphenating and adding the cinematics to it. That will be the channel's official new name going into the rest of this year, 2024, and next year. And also, this type of content with the documentaries and all that, we are going to be kicking into that. I don't know when we'll actually have time, well, not time, but when the actual go live date will be, or when we'll actually premiere our first reaction to a horror true story, so to speak. Some of them may be real stories, some of them may not, but I did want to introduce something, and I'm glad we reacted to this, because this is the type of new content I want to react to for the channel, to add a new show to it. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get approved by then for membership level, but we'll talk about that at a later date, because we also have our second mid-year Clubhouse meeting coming up next month, so please stay tuned for that. All right. And we also will be reacting and reviewing to we'll also be reacting and reviewing to Predestination. So stay tuned for that. That'll be a part of the next Clubhouse meeting. Let's get into the reviews of this movie. And after we complete this one, which will be just the next installment, we're going to start our VHS franchise. So don't spoil it for me, because I can't wait. I've been every time I bring up that I'm going to start watching the VHS movies, people just start, oh my gosh, I have to stop them and be like, please do not tell me anything. Let me find out on my own. Let's see what their reviews were on this movie, though. Because I can't be the only one that actually liked this. This is great. In my opinion, I enjoyed this movie. Oh, see, I'm not the only one. Somebody said this scratched my YouTube missing documentary, spooky campsite story, and wrong turn deformity itch all at the same time. I agree, because it did have a taste of wrong turn. But I say more so to me of Hills Have Eyes, because Hills Have Eyes was based out of Nevada. So I think it's more along that terms, in my opinion. The missing person trope will always be scary. Okay? There is a movie that I want to watch too, but I gotta get access to it. Is Megan is Missing. I heard that's really scary too. I gotta watch that. Another like found footage mockumentary, Megan is Missing. I randomly stumbled across this. Oh, this was 2 days ago. Okay, I randomly stumbled across this while looking for a horror movie with a desert setting. I'm surprised you didn't come across The Outwaters. I'm typically not into found footage films, but this was really well done. Yes, it was. It was like watching a real documentary. I agree. It is a hidden gem. I agree. Oh, somebody said, I thought it was real. I normally can tell if these movies are pseudo documentaries, but this one fooled me. I was wondering why no police was interviewed. They got you, didn't it? I went into this movie telling myself, I know this is not real, but after being into the movie, maybe 50 minutes, I still had to remind myself, because I started getting into it like, damn, and I had to remind myself, this is not real. This is not real. Oh, somebody did not like it. 9 months ago, a person named Lewis commented, "Save yourselves. I would rather be lost in the desert with only tumbleweed to talk to than to have to sit through this again. If you like to watch talking head documentaries where every point has to be repeated more or less word for word, this film is for you. There was one scare in the entire thing about 5 minutes before the end. Avoid at all costs." Well, Lewis, you went into this expecting way too much, didn't you? That's what led to your disappointment. And they might not be a found footage. I find it so weird that most people say I'm not into found footage films, but they are probably the most watched horror style film. That's crazy. Oh, somebody said completely fooled me. I thought it was real. Yes, somebody said it's not real, but it makes you wonder if something's out there. Everybody was completely fooled. Oh, somebody did not like it. Oh, the reviews must be fake. No, people actually like this movie. Like myself, the reviews are not fake. Now, I can see why people would say it's boring. You know, if you're an ADHD person, or if you're an antsy person, you know, some people, I have noticed that some people go into horror movies off the bat in their head just wanting to see kill, 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 kill. You know, monster, monster, monster. You know, Michael, Michael, Michael. They just, you know, that's something else we'll talk about on the channel at a later date. I have always theorized that Michael Myers was a great storyline for years, but it actually kind of ruined the horror experience, I think, for viewers. And this is why. Because I think some people can't appreciate other things that they see, because again, they just go into it ready to just see people get chopped up. Yeah, where's it? You know, they just lusting to see this, you know, gore. And when you have movies like this that are based on real life horrors, because yes, it is true, people come up missing all the time, they're out of touch. They don't want to see it. Oh, it's boring. It was a slow burn. It wasn't nothing scary about it. Well, unfortunately, like that person just commented, oh, I would rather be lost in the desert with tumbleweed instead of watch this movie. If that person really was lost in the desert, they'd be weak. They'd be crying their eyes out, trying to find the first thing they could, you know. It's not logical. You know what I mean? But we turn that off sometimes. And listen, to each his own. We all like different things in life. But I do think there are certain influences and things that have lasted for so long and has been repeated so long in film history that we don't really get to pay attention to the things that are outside the box. And y'all, Horror in the High Desert is one of that. I'm not going to ramble on anymore. I'm about to get up off of here. I appreciate everybody who came in and hung out with me. Again, I'm going to leave that link up in the description box so that you can watch the full-length movie for free. While you can watch it during, you know, with me as a watch-along or at your own time. Come back to the comment section. Talk to me about it. Do you like this movie? Have you seen this movie? And y'all stay tuned, because part 2, which is called Horror in the High Desert Minerva, I think. Yes, Horror in the High Desert 2 Minerva, which is also free on most streaming apps. If you want to watch it today, it is free on Tubi. Alright? So, I'll see you guys next week in the next movie night. Please don't forget to thumbs up this live for your girl. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you haven't. Press that button. We do this every week. We have another MMT coming up. It's the last one of July, but it's going to be a goodie. And we'll also be celebrating this week our anniversary of the channel for reaction and reviews. A lot changing. The channel changing. The banners changed. The thumbnail has changed. Not the content, but we'll be adding some new stuff to this year's lineup. And we'll talk about it. More details will come future. Enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday, everybody. Bye. Oh, I didn't read. Wait. Adahan said I watched this movie in 2001. I need to watch this interim. Adahan, go to my description box. Click the link. Check it out. Refresh your memory. And then come back and talk to me about it in the comment section.